So I literally woke up from my nap, rolled over, and grabbed my phone so I could watch the episode. And I was like, this is such a cool fucking episode.
And you haven't watched past this, right?
Dude, I haven't watched this until just like 20 minutes ago.
Mark, it has been so hard not seeing anything before this. And here's the thing. It's about to go off. It's about to get so much better. I know of this. I know it's going to because of like what I read in the manga, but it's been so long since I've read the manga that I have forgotten damn near everything. And it's one of those ones where even if you did read the manga, like watching it literally come to life is just so awesome.
It's completely different, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, you just started My Hero, right?
We are currently on. Where are we at, babe? In My Hero? We just finished the Stain arc.
Oh my god, you guys are burning through it.
Well, we usually watch like 5 or 6 episodes, or 2 to 5 episodes in a night.
It's one of those shows where it's real easy to get into. Dude, I'm on the last season, and usually I wait so I can binge through. I can't do it with this one, and the past 4 episodes have had me cry. Every single one. It's such a great show. Yeah,
the other one that God we burned through and we wish we had taken a little bit more time was Demon Slayer. Yeah, because we're done with Demon Slayer until. Come on, I wanna.
How much were you guys freaking out when not only when he's trying to decide to protect Nezuko or go after that demon, but when she kicks him off?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. I would, and then she walks over and she's just like, "Good morning." I was like, "Bullshit, calling bullshit." I won't lie. Demon Slayer is a show that I have never been more like absolutely in love with, but also so angry at all of the like not MacGuffins, but like all the plot armor that pops up all the time.
I mean, seriously, with not Zenitsu. What's the boar boy's name?
Inosuke,
like, oh, I trained in the mountains. You think I don't know how to move my heart in my own?
Yeah, chest? I know how to move my organs around.
I can get behind the flashy Hashira surviving getting his hand chopped off.
Sure.
But I moved my heart. Eat every dick.
I'm not gonna lie, Inosuke is my favorite character in any anime. Like,
I'm still just obsessed with Zenitsu, man.
I'm not gonna lie, that moment when they're all falling into the castle and you see Zenitsu just like falling and he grabs the sword and you're like, oh man, he's gonna be asleep this whole time, and then it like pans around his face and he's awake, and I was like, oh shit.
Yes. And I will be honest, my whole thing with Zenitsu is because I love his potential. Because like, okay, he can, when his subconscious takes over, he can only do one breathing technique. It's clearly the Gramps is dead.
What does Jeff think the Zenitsu letter is?
Oh yeah, Angel.
Yeah.
Angel. You have the same thought that I. Yeah, he's on the same
question
route that I.
Was it old age or did a demon kill him?
I
think it was a demon.
Here's the thing. I think one of the demons might be Gramps.
You think one of the demons turned him?
I think Gramps has always been a demon.
No, because he's been in the sunlight.
When have we seen Gramps?
We've seen him train in flashbacks training Zenitsu in the sunlight.
Let me rephrase this. I think that since we met Zenitsu in the show, because Zenitsu trained with Gramps in the past, right? Not present.
Okay. Yeah, that means a demon turned Gramps.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happened.
I don't think so, just because we clearly have one of Tanjiro's distant relatives was turned.
Oh, you're talking about number 1?
I think, yeah, number 1 is clearly...
Upper 1 right? is... I don't know if he's necessarily Tanjiro's, like, ancestor, but he's definitely the...
he's whoever the robot was made after.
Yeah, he's the one the robot's made after, but this like legendary iconic figure that invented the The flame dance.
Yeah.
It's definitely him. The Kuragami Hagara.
Yes.
Or whatever it's called. Definitely.
Oh my god. How about when in the entertainment district when Tanjiro was summoning the fire breathing and it was hurting him so much, he was bleeding out his eyes.
Oh yeah. Look, this whole series it blew my net. I was against watching it. I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I saw it and I was just like, man, there's gonna be like another fucking Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yep.
I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was against it for like the first at least 2, maybe 3 episodes. I was like, this sucks. Why does anyone like this?
Yeah. I mean, although if you do think about it, there are a lot of parallels between Yu Yu Hakusho and Demon Slayer. You've got the funny talking sidekick with the.
You got the main antagonist protagonist pairing up with a demon.
Yeah.
You got supernatural power. Yeah, I mean, it really does.
It is. It's a better. I'm gonna say it. This is gonna be unpopular with a lot of people. I say it's a better version of Yu Yu Hakusho.
So I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. It is, but not because people are actually looking at the merit of the shows, because people are looking at the nostalgia of Yu Yu Hakusho.
For sure.
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho was fun and everything, but it fell into all the tropes that the old animes did. Mm-hmm. 1, it was the same format over and over.
Yep.
2, half of the current episode you're watching is flashback of the last episode, which always pissed me off.
Yep.
And just cheap and easy animation. I mean, that's Demon Slayer. The animation alone is worth watching the show.
I'm going to be honest with you. The animation alone, yes, is 100% worth watching the show. But the thing is it's going to be so much better when we get 3 cinematic films.
I know.
But I'm so excited. We're going to talk about those films when they come out.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this current season. I watched the first episode of this current season and the last episode of last season in the movie theater.
Ooh.
And not like they didn't do anything extra. It was exactly what you saw on the TV. It was just on the big screen.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That sounds amazing. All right, should we get into Kaijus? Because
we should probably do what we came here to do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's a good thing we came on early.
Yeah, for real. We're starting right on time. All right, so we have made it past the halfway point of this season of Kaiju number 8. And
I still can't believe it.
It is crazy. Like they've announced season 2 already, right?
I don't know. I would assume so.
They would have to. I mean, this series is phenomenal. Like they'd be stupid not to.
I agree.
But, we're not in Japan. We don't get to make the calls.
Well, but we're in America, so they should all listen to us.
I mean, realistically, they really should be listening to us. Okay, so it has officially been announced. They announced it like 2 months ago.
For just 2025 release.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
I hate generic 2025. Yeah.
Don't give me hey, this is like one of my favorite video games. The sequel was announced and it's just 2025. It's like, okay, you gave me the trailer. I don't need more.
What video game?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played that. Is that the one that's like Japanese Dark Souls?
Yes and no. It doesn't. So it's like, no, you're thinking Sekiro.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which came out earlier, because that was created by the same developer.
Gotcha.
Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful, like, you know what? We were just talking about the beauty of anime. This is the beauty of a video game.
Okay.
One of the best parts of it is the way that the guidance in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wind blowing the. You can select like, hey, I need a reminder, and you follow the wind through like the reeds or the trees or something. It's amazing.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It really is. So Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know, is following you playing as a character defending that island against the Mongol invasion.
That's pretty cool.
One is Ghosts of Yokai.
Oh, I was going to say, is it Ghosts of
Northern Japan?
Is it going to be Ghosts of Tsushima? but I guess they wouldn't do that. There was something that did that recently. I thought it was the stupidest thing, but I don't remember what it was now.
I can tell you.
But yeah.
So it's going to be set in Yokai, which is northern Japan. The trailer just came out yesterday, actually, and here's the thing: the protagonist is a woman. So lots of people are about to get lots of sexist.
I don't think they're going to get that way. I think they've always been that way.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of sexist shows, Kaiju. All right, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, so Kaiju number 8, episode 7 is called Kaiju number 9. So if you're, when this episode comes confusing. Out, it's going to be called Kaiju number 8, episode 7, Kaiju number 9. Fun, a lot of fun, long ass title. This episode picks up right where we left off last time. Now for our listeners, it's been a couple of weeks since the last episode of this came out. Well, it's fun because it's been a couple of months since we last recorded this, because life got in the way. But luckily for us, life fucking fucked everything up. We are lucky we got a recap of what happened in the previous episode, and just to recap for you guys, Kaiju got out. Big mushroom-ass kaiju with little spider crab crawly things. And Mina done blowed them all up.
Sure did. One shot.
Two shots.
I thought it was one shot, and then she's like, I'm going to keep shooting.
Yeah. She fires twice, blows up the giant kaiju, and then they're like, hey, there's a lot of little bitty babies in here, and they're getting ready to come out. And while they're doing the cleanup for it, our boy Remo the bitch and his good friend Not Kirishima come across the weird new guy with the cleanup crew. And the weird...
Can you call Reno a bitch after this episode?
I'm going to give him a new name after this episode. Remo, King of the Bitch.
I'm okay with that. I think that works.
So they come across that weird, awkward new guy that doesn't know how to hold a cell phone when he's talking on the phone. A.K.A. what we know as the other kaiju. And they're like, Numero 9. And they're like, dude, you got to clear out. And he's just like...
Which, by the way, if you haven't watched this and you're just listening, they're like, all calling like, hey, you got to just probably get going. Because he's still in human form at this point.
Right, he's still in human form. He's wearing the cleanup crew. Like, he doesn't belong there. Like, he's not supposed to be here. Everybody's cleared out of this entire, like, district of Japan. And Homeboy's just like, And
he's also talking real weird. He's literally sitting there like, oh, my babies.
I didn't do... I thought this would do it this time.
Yeah, so no matter what, nothing about this guy seems like out for a stroll.
I'm going to be honest with you. Watching this episode and watching My Hero Academia, I was getting major Shigaraki vibes from the way he talks.
Dude, yes.
His speech patterns are very much Tomura Shigaraki. And the only difference, I will say, there's a huge difference between the two characters. Tomura Shigaraki is very much emotion when he talks. Like
this guy's the lack of emotion.
Complete lack of emotion. The whole time we hear this guy talk, it is just calculating.
Both of them, the way they talk, the way they put their sentences together, just sounds so alien.
They sound like they've never interacted with humans before. Which
inhuman. Yeah. So,
Kaiju number 9 is now I have to assume he's frustrated, but he's not conveying it emotionally. He's all of it is very calculated. He's like, this doesn't make any this is not logical that I am losing right now. Like
he's already planning his next creation.
Right. He's like, okay, so I know now what I need to do to be better next time. And as this weird, awkward guy with a completely soulless face stands up and looks at...
You did a good job on making that face, just like, that's not a human.
Yeah, that's not even a background character face. That's just a soulless face. And as he stands off and rifles off one of his weird finger shots that he does,
Excuse you. They're clearly finger blasts.
That's what I said.
Finger blast has a much better connotation.
Sure. He finger bangs Kirishima, and Reno is just like, oh, okay.
Right?
I know what this is. Hey, hey, bud, you need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he's like, hey, not Kirishima. No offense.
You know what?
You're offensively bad at fighting.
I'm gonna actually show Iharu the respect he deserves for this episode. Not Kirishima's name is Iharu. I do know it this time. I didn't have to look this one up this time.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, so Reno is like, hey, you get out of here, go find help, right? Meanwhile, Reno's getting shot to shit. He's been hit like 5 or 6 times. And the Kaiju's just like...
Say, though, all of the shots that hit Reno have been so much smaller than the one that hit Iharu. One of the things that I actually don't like about this show is like, yeah, it missed Iharu's heart. It hit him like in the head to shoulder area.
Yeah.
But it was such a big hole that's like he should instantly be dead.
Yeah.
I don't care how cool that uniform is.
Well, no, because see,
armor.
the suit holds all the meat together. So as long as the meat doesn't fall apart, you should be okay.
There's no meat. It was an empty hole the size of a baseball.
No, but the suit held what was left together, and that's all that really matters.
Well, if you say so.
And
anyway,
so
Reno's getting shot to shit.
Reno gets shot, and then but Reno proves once again that he is good. He manages to time it. He times the shots just like Kikaru did. But Kikaru's not...
No. Not that Kikaru did. Because remember, Kikaru got fucked up.
Yes.
But what she did was she explained, hey, this is how to figure it out.
Right. Reno...
Remind me of?
What?
Real old anime. Trigun. Vash the Stampede.
I've never seen it.
It's an old
I know
anime,
I know of
early
it.
Toonami days.
Wasn't Trigun was voiced by Johnny Bosch Young, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I will say they did remake Trigun a couple years back, and they brought Johnny back, which made me very happy.
Well, that's good. That's the way it should be.
But it's the same. There's an episode where it's the same thing. A guy's shooting a gun at Vash, but keeps missing, and it's not because Vash is like able to follow the bullet. Vash watches where the gun's aiming, and then knows what the trajectory of a bullet.
Right.
Which is what Reno's doing with these finger blasts.
Right. Well, and here's the thing is Reno is having to do this on the fly, rapid fire. This kaiju is like flailing about. Like his shots aren't like, he's not pointing and targeting and taking the second to shoot. He is literally whipping his arm around and firing blasts off left and right.
And not just that, but he's also, for a time, having to push Iharu out of the line of fire. So it's not even just like, hey, let me make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's make sure I'm okay and make sure, like, there's points where Reno gets hit because if he had to push Iharu out of the way so Iharu doesn't die.
Right. And we get another one of those moments where Iharu's just like, I'm mad at this situation. Not because I'm mad at Reno, not because I'm frustrated that he's better than me. I'm frustrated because I'm not as good as he is.
Mm-hmm.
And
definite self-reflection at this moment, because it does start with him being like, God, screw him for being better than me, but then him realizing like, no, I'm not mad at him.
I'm mad at me, yeah. Which I think is something that's so... It's... Okay, I'm going to make a very, very bold statement. We live in a time right now where everybody is so eager to point the finger elsewhere for all of their problems that seeing characters manage to have the nuts to recognize that they have, like, what they're lacking is not anybody else's fault. And that's...
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's why I respect Iharu. Kirishima in My Hero is my favorite character to watch because everything he does is to better himself, not because he's striving to be better than anybody else or because he thinks that anybody else is like because he feels like he deserves to be better than anybody else. He's striving to be better for everyone else. He's doing it to be better to serve other people, not for selfish reasons. And
Red Rocket's not trying to be number one. He's just trying to live up to his potential, and there is a part with a little hero worship where he's trying to, live up to the
Crimson Riot.
What's it called? Yes, but what I was trying to say was the example set for him.
Right. Right. Yeah. He's trying to live up to the chivalry that is severely lacking in the modern age, which I respect the hell out of. And I think that Reno is in a lot of ways very much like Midoriya is. He's a catalyst character. He pushes people to better themselves. I mean,
that's literally what happens with Iharu in this episode.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened with Kafka from the beginning.
Yeah.
Is
to the point where it's very clear that Reno knows he's not going to survive Kaiju number 9, but he's like, but I can distract enough for Iharu to get away, and Iharu even flat out calls him on it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we're in this together. We're a team. You're not like you go, I go,
Right. And then after they establish, okay, we're fighting this guy together, Kaiju number 9's like, oh, and by the way, even if you had tried to run away, this whole area belongs to me now. You guys are stuck here with me. And they're both just like, oh, cool.
Oh.
Guess
God, I didn't run away.
God. And then we get this huge reveal. I'm sorry. This was probably one of the coolest ways to reveal a power that a kaiju has. As Reno is unloading his rifle on Kaiju number 9, and the smoke clears after this, like, I'm talking, he emptied every clip he had for this rifle into this kaiju. And then it's revealed.
Like a Gungrave level massacre of bullets.
Right. And then it's revealed that this whole time, Kaiju number 9 has had the ability to... Well, first of all, he grew extra limbs so that he could more effectively shoot at Reno. But
Which wasn't even to kill him. He was just playing around and thinking it was fun.
100%.
Kaiju number 9 was like, hey, that's cool. Let's see if you can beat all these ones. It's just like, throwing them around.
Hey, man, let's see how many times I can shoot you before you die.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going for a kill shot in any capacity. He is just toying with them. And that moment that it clicks for Iharu is like, oh shit, okay. So this whole time we've been fucked since the get-go on this. And this kaiju knew it. And at this point, like, Reno is bleeding to death. And Kaiju number 9's just...
hang on. Did we cover... I think I interrupted you. You didn't cover the special...
Oh, yeah.
The other special power.
Yeah. So after...
You said the arms.
Right. After after the gun is emptied, the dust clears, and Kaiju number 9 has built himself a meat shield out of the corpses of all of the mushroomed kaiju.
Yeah.
He is able to manipulate...
wall of dead kaiju.
He is able to manipulate the flesh of the dead kaiju. And he kind of just comes out, he's like, okay, I'm kind of bored now. Let's just see if we can wrap this up real quick. And he's just point blank shooting Reno as he's laying on the ground. Meanwhile, Iharu, who is also full of holes at this point, is just trying to get his hand on the gun to, try and help Reno in some way. But again...
Now, one thing about the Reno part of it... No, I'm sorry, not the Reno part. The Iharu part of it I like. Like I said, Iharu had like a baseball-sized chuck out of his like pec to shoulder area.
Yeah.
Well, he can't use that arm at all.
Right.
He is pulling himself forward with only the one arm. So while I did find it annoying that like he got that big of a hole in him and he's still okay, at least they're still like, well, yeah, but it's not like he's got like full use of his arm. Like you're still holding to some of the rules,
Right. Well, and then and as we said, like the gun's done. Like there is nothing left to shoot out of that gun. And once again, speaking to the character of this person, to Iharu as a person, as he's sitting there realizing what's going to happen. It's not someone please save me. Reno was, had his moment where he's like, okay, God, just this once, give me the strength that I need to defeat this thing. And then as Iharu's sitting, like, kneeling down on the ground, realizing how, like, fucked they are. There's nothing, like, it's, from what Iharu knows, nothing's coming to save them. So he starts praying. He says, God, the devil, a demon, anybody, come help my friend. He doesn't care about his own well-being at this point.
It just shows such growth and such a depth of character. And that's, by the way, why I thought it was so funny earlier when you named him, right? What's Riot's name again?
Kirishima.
I thought it was so funny when you compared the two, because I was like, you have no idea how accurate that is.
Oh, I'm starting to see it. And
now, one thing I will say before we get to that next part, another point, I was like, really, you expect me to believe that after this whole beatdown, Reno's still alive? Come on, Nine's been rocking him. But we get to a point where Nine actually points out he's getting ready to take Reno away and, like, as a test subject.
Right.
So this is one of those shows where I keep being like, dude, come on, give me, like, I know we got kaijus and stuff, but, like, really, you expect me to believe that he survived this? But then they almost immediately take the one thing I'm annoyed about and they explain it away.
Yeah,
I am so impressed with this show.
Right, and it's not just some dumb thing like, oh, well, his hidden power awakened. It's
right.
There's a legit thing, like, that comes from, like, everything has a legit thing. Like, yes, Kikaru is hella overpowered, but even she has her own limitations, which we see later on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it even makes sense that she's overpowered. She's literally she's been doing this. It's in her family since she was like 3 or something.
Right. Well, she's the Bakugo.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so we're back into it.
Iharu on his knees praying for God, a demon, or the devil himself to show up. And who do we get showing up? What looks to be a demon or the devil himself. Kafka has arrived on the scene, and he is
Kaiju number 8 in it up,
fully decked out. And later on, it's Yoshinori, right? Is that his name?
Which one? The
bowl of
Captain?
Bowl of bitch, yeah. Man, I'm getting all the names right tonight. Hell yeah.
You're doing it.
So Yoshinori even gives Kaiju number 8 the best description. Pitch black body with a demon skull face.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually, we were wrong. It is Soshiro Hoshino.
Hoshino, okay.
Hoshino.
Yoshinori is... I'm just getting All Might's name messed up.
I mean, we're also, both of us, binging a lot of anime at the same time.
Well, yeah, I'm watching... Right now we're watching... me and Angel are watching My Hero, but I'm watching One Piece on the side, too. That's my...
One Piece is a hard one.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's my folding laundry anime that I watch.
That's a good call. Evidently, there's a torrented one where it doesn't take out the story, but it just kind of moves it along more quickly.
I think they're doing that on. I think I was talking to one of my coworkers, and they're doing a version for Netflix that trims down all the excess. So I don't know. We'll see. I personally like the long episode, like the long, drawn out shit, but that's just a personal preference. Okay.
You start us up because I don't.
Yeah, no, we're good. So Kafka shows up on the scene, and without missing a beat, fucking rocks Kaiju number 9. Like, I'm talking completely.
A punch to rival Saitama and Goku.
And All Might, I would say.
Yes, thank you. I actually forgot about All Might somehow.
Yeah. He punches. So he punches this. I gotta be honest. I love the design of Kaiju number 9. This, like, everything about Kaiju number 8. It looks heroic, right? Like, yeah, he's got the demon skull face, but he's still got like the enough humanness to him to be heroic, right? But you look at Kaiju number 9, there is this thing is straight up alien. Its arms are too long and lanky. Its body is too like just janky, right? Everything about him is janky. Plus, he's got all these fucking pus balls on him, and like, on one hand, I love seeing it, but at the same time, it's like, I wish that they would have made Kafka a little bit less humanoid.
I get that, but at the same time, I think it just really reflects, and this is obviously a theory of mine, it hasn't been like proven, but I think it really reflects that it's very obvious that Kafka is a human that became a kaiju, where it's also very obvious that number 9 is a kaiju that became a human.
Right.
You know?
Well, and
it's reflected in both their human and their kaiju designs.
Yeah.
It's reflected in their way of speech. I mean, like, they do a really good job of it.
Oh yeah, this is a very well written, from a character standpoint, well written series. And as after Kafka like unleashes this, you know, punch of the gods on Kaiju number 9, we have another analytical like comment from Kaiju number 9. It's just, as it's flying through the air, you know, its body is fucked up. It goes, why am I looking at my behind side? Oh, my head has been taken off. And
just the way he keeps reacting the entire fight with Kafka, I think is hilarious. I mean, there's points where Kafka, like, he's throwing attacks at Kafka, and then Kafka just, like, brushes him off, and he's just like, and he literally just goes, wait, what? Like, multiple times throughout this fight, he just goes, wait, what?
Right. There's
just so fun.
There's no panic. There's no fear. None of that. None of that happens at any point during this fight. It's all just confusion. And I think that's beautiful. I love the cold, calculating, analytical characters when they're done right. You know?
Yeah, because they're a common character in anime, and the problem is they're commonly done wrong.
Right. Like,
this is not one of those situations.
Right, because even when you have the cold, calculating character, usually there's a point where they will break and start getting more and more like, well, but I'm so much smarter than you. I should be doing so much better than you. Like, getting angrier and angrier. He's not doing that. He is 100% calm the entire time. Like, he is getting torn apart faster than his own body can regenerate. And his reaction is, well, he's hitting me pretty hard, and I can't regenerate. I'll have to figure out how to beat him. As his, like, entire core is showing, like, just out there, exposed. And he's not even stressing about it. He's just like, okay, well, this sucks, but okay.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it again just goes to show they've done this character properly.
Right.
Because any other character, so that's the thing, usually a character like this, you see they're nice, they're cold, they're emotionless, but then when they start getting beaten, they go into a rage.
Right.
Not number 9. Because number 9 can't feel that rage.
Right.
If anything, he's more curious than anything.
I would say, like, his whole characterization is just curiosity.
Yeah.
Like, and
it's honestly, it's just a big murder cat.
Well, and he's not even arrogant about it, right? You know, like when you have overpowered characters so frequently, they become arrogant, cocky assholes. This guy knows he's extremely powerful, but he's not like I'm gonna kill you because I'm able to. It's more of like, why aren't you dead yet? Like am I not doing good enough here? Like,
if there's any emotion this guy could feel, it's surprise.
Right, he feels surprise, but like,
yeah,
and like he's again not arrogant by any means, not arrogant, but more of like, he knows what works, and when it's not working, it's just causing him to like okay, well, if that didn't work, let's try this. Okay, that's not working. Let's do this instead. He very much going through the scientific method.
Absolutely. It's surprised because he's like, I put these 3 chemicals together and I didn't get the reaction I thought. Must be one of those chemicals is different than I thought.
Right. And
you know, it's just you said it perfectly. It's a scientific method.
Like this guy is very much like he's a scientist, Kaiju, which is a weird thing to say when you have a giant monster that's mad scientisting all over the place. But
right.
But even still, like, again, he is torn open. Kafka unleashes one of those final attacks where he has to, like, anchor himself to the ground in order to, like, fire this off. And completely tears the Kaiju number 9 open. And he's not even like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, what do I do? It's more of like, okay, where did I go wrong here? Like, what misstep did I make that I could have done better on for next time? And then...
Yeah, I mean, he literally says stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when he ends up getting away, his final... That might be the most... that actually might be the most emotion we see. We see, like, a little bit of glee when he's like, now I know how to beat you.
Yeah, now I know what's up. Like...
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Kafka ends up knocking number 9 right into the middle of the Defense Corps' like area of operation. So now he is
powerful and all, and it's funny because when Kafka's just in his human form running around, he's smart, he's analytical.
Right.
He's seen enough of these to know what's going on. But when he's in his kaiju form, it's like he just forgets any sort of strategy.
He's All Might. I'm gonna punch. All Might does think on his toes. You're right. But yeah, this guy, he literally is just like, okay, I need to hit this thing as hard as I can, so that it can't do any more damage. But unfortunately, the Defense Corps sees him and they're like, hey, platoon leader Hoshi, we found Kaiju number 8.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that outside of Iharu and Reno, who are severely injured and can't speak yet, I don't think anybody in the Defense Force even knows number 9's there.
Right. Nobody aside from the people that are involved know about this.
Yes.
And we get in the midst of all of this, like, Kafka now almost blowing his cover, like, they still don't know who he is. We get to see Kikaru in her element. She is, as we have seen, a badass, right? But in this moment, she is realizing that she has her own limitations when it comes to firearms. So she gets creative.
She's standing on top of one of the walking mushrooms, just shooting into it, and it's just not doing nothing.
So she picks up a downed street sign and uses it like a battle, or a halberd. You mean like a claymore, the sword? I mean, no, like the long axe.
Oh yes.
So
like the old like the medieval axes.
Yeah, they're called halberds. Yeah, I was right with that. I looked it up.
I'm trying to invoke an image
for those that don't know what a halberd looks like. Basically, it is a long spear that has a single-sided axe head on the other end, or on one end. So it's spear, axe head, then like a 6-foot long pole. So Kikaru picks up a downed street sign and uses it as a halberd and fucking just splits this thing in half.
Just in-twains this motherfucker.
Like, this thing that she was shooting a gun into that had no effect, and she just, like, bifurcates it. No problem.
Yeah. And remember, she's so in tune with her suit. Like, the gun should have an effect.
The gun should have an effect.
More of an effect than anybody else's gun.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get that moment where Kafka and... Where Kikaru is trying to convince Kafka not to blow his cover to save these people. Like, she understands what's going to what will happen to him if they catch him. And Kafka, being, well, him, is like, I understand the risks that I'm running here, but I have to go help our friends. Because
he doesn't care about the potential dangers to himself. He just knows, and it's not even like he's like, "Oh, I need to go be the hero."
No,
he just can't let his friends die.
Exactly, and I don't even know if he really cares that about the other one. I think he's just there for Reno.
No, I think Kafka cares about everyone on the team.
No, you're
they
right.
Had that, they had their bonding moment in
the bathtub,
in the onsen, and everything.
And they were like, wait, what's her favorite food? And he's like, well, let me tell you, bud. I know everything about her. And unfortunately, because of the Defense Corps seeing Kafka, Kaiju number 8, I should say, they call in the big guns. And Hoshi shows up.
Little gun.
And he's like, and Kafka's just like, oh shit, that's right. He's really good with the smaller kaiju. Oh shit, yeah. I'm a smaller kaiju.
As we see Bullcut himself, not just sheathing his swords, which he's already badass enough. Now he's like, I'm so good, I'm actually gonna put them away, while he just it's a regulator, I guess.
He's one of those people that they need to put a cap on what his suit can do to prevent him from just wanton destruction of basically. And so he's just like, hey guys, turn off that inhibitor. I found Kaiju number 8. And they're just like,
okay,
all right, bet. And then it turns his suit up to 92%.
We literally see him glowing purple.
He is glowing purple, and Kafka's just like, okay.
Crackers.
Look, man, I don't want to fight you. And literally, like, all Kafka can do is dodge. And even with how good he is at dodging all of this, Hoshi's like, okay, look, I know I got you at least a couple of times there. I'm gonna be honest, that line was, for me, it was just like, holy shit.
I told you that you end up loving him.
Hoshi,
he ends up being such a badass.
Hoshi is the exact opposite of Kaiju number 9. Hoshi is a little bit arrogant. He knows he's good, and he is going to gloat as he is tearing apart Kafka.
He's very Master Roshi in this. In the sense that he's very unassuming. He's a joke most of the time.
Right.
They even animate him. He's got a fucking bowl cut and his eyes are always closed.
Yeah.
And then he stops trying. I'm sorry, he stops holding back. And it's just, Uguro. Turns out the reason he's a little silly all the time and kind of arrogant, because he can be.
Yeah. That's the beauty of how they do these characters, is they are able to let these characters be goobers because of what they're capable of doing. Like that's why it works so well with Goku. Goku is arguably one of the dumbest everyday people in the world. But as soon as he turns on that battle prowess, holy shit, look out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this show is, I get tingles. I get.
Now, I will say one last thing about this episode. This show is a study in giving you blue balls. Because, good God, don't stop. I want to see this fight.
They are very good. I swear, if episode 12 of this season ends on a cliffhanger like these episodes have been ending, I'm going to be so mad.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, good shit. Good shit.
Good shit. Tell you what, I'm excited to talk about the next episode.
Yeah, me too. Also, just real quick, just to compare between Hoshina and Mina's power bases. Mina hit 96%.
Yes.
On her own, to be clear. On her own. That's her base power level. So Hoshina is only 4% behind that.
And also remember, Mina's using a cannon gun.
Mina
This guy is using I mean, I don't think either of those blades is longer than his forearm.
No, he's definitely using like his swords are about the same length as Stain's blades are.
No, Stain's got a full katana. I'd say these are both tatos.
Hold on. Let me phrase that. So Stain has the katana, yes, but he's also got those side pieces that he keeps.
Yes.
Those ones, the ones with the serrated edge. That's about how long Hoshina's blades are.
I mean, they're just like they're an inch longer than being called a dagger.
Yeah, it's insane.